Listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
For one thing, their fat little girlfriends are telling them what they want to hear.
It's Division I football! It's the Big 12!
They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
From the intersection of Highway 63 and Interstate 70, the heartland of Middle America, just a few miles south of the campus of the University of Missouri in Columbia, this is what we're talking about. I am Michael Spencer. Joining me, as always, on the other side of the board, Cheston McGuire. Cheston, what up, buddy?
Hooday. Did I call that or did I call that?
Oh, no. See, I hate that. Yeah, I tweeted after the game.
Ugh.
I tweeted. You see, you're still not a big fan of Twitter.
No, I have like 13 tweets, one of which was to you on Sunday.
The worst thing I ever did was get a BlackBerry with Uber Twitter, because now I'm on Twitter all the time. And people tweet me, and I tweet them back, and it's a little bit absurd, but I enjoy it for what it's worth. But I tweeted after the game, congratulations, New Orleans. Maybe now you'll learn how to speak English.
I fail to see where they don't speak English correctly.
I just don't like this whole who dat gonna beat them Saints. It's stupid.
I don't like
Learn
it because they
English.
stole it from the Bengals. I mean, I don't know if the Bengals the first ever had it, but the Bengals have been using it for the past 5-10 years. That's why their mascot's called Hooday, and they've been doing that for far longer. But all of a sudden, Drew Brees does it one time this year, and that's the Saints thing.
It's just
that's the one thing that really made me angry about that.
The Saints have always been doing that.
Have they? I just never really noticed.
No, it's always been their battle cry, even back when they were the Aints. But that's, I just think it's stupid. But hey, that's just me, and they're the Super Bowl champs, so they can pretty much say whatever they want to say.
Just like Mark Madsen could dance however he wanted to, they can say what they want.
You know what? Next segment, I am bringing up Mark Madsen, and we're playing that just because you referenced it, because I love Mark Madsen so much. And in fact, keep talking, and I'm going to try and bring up Mark Madsen real quick.
All right, so the Super Bowl was yesterday. Saints won on a lot of gutsy calls by Sean Payton. That was
the Super Bowl was actually 2 days ago, because we're recording on a Tuesday.
Oh, my bad.
He was hungover all day Monday.
I was working on Sunday. So I don't know.
What about those gutsy calls?
I didn't agree
Payton?
with the going. Well, I agreed for going for it on 4th and goal. I just didn't like the run I didn't like the sweep run. I've always hated the sweep run on the goal line.
I thought that was foolish. I thought they should have, thrown.
You throw it, or you run it up the ball.
You put the ball in Drew Brees' hands because he's your best player,
right?
And you let him make a decision.
He can, obviously, option one is I give it to Brees to throw it. But if they really want to run it, you run it up the gut. The sweep is just too many extra yards to get. It opens up way too many problems. So I had a huge problem with that. The play call, not going for it, but the actual play call itself. I mean, it worked out in the end, and then I loved the onside kick in the second half.
And nobody was expecting that. Now, I thought the Colts would actually recover it.
I thought so, too, because at first I thought, oh, wow, Saints have it. But then I saw the replay, and it was between the guy's legs, and somehow he came out of the pile
I don't know how that happened.
Because it looked like a Colt was right on top of the ball with his chest over the ball, and it was between his legs.
Yes,
that
it
is
did,
some
and
strength.
I am surprised there's not more cane being raised from Indianapolis.
Well, it's because the rule is whoever comes out at the bottom of the pile with it, and the whole time they're fighting for it, whoever comes up with it gets it.
And there was that whole 2-minute delay where they were just like, the refs were pulling people off, the
players
coaches
were pulling player off.
Oh, my goodness.
So, I don't know. I think Sean Payton definitely coached the Saints to a Super Bowl victory there. Drew Brees did an amazing job. I would love to have seen him beating Tom Brady's record, but they, of course, were going to kneel at the clock in the last minute and a half.
Yeah.
So, I was happy for the Saints. I think that's a really big win for them, and I'd like to say that I did call that over.
You did. And and honestly, when Manning had the ball, and
the first half, Manning was unstoppable. Every time he touched it, except for that last drive right before halftime, he had a 96-yard drive. He had the opening touchdown drive. They just could not stop him.
And when they had the ball going in with like 3 minutes to go and they were down 7, I was like, all right, here's what's going to happen. It's going to come down to whether Indianapolis' defense can get a stop. They hadn't been able to get one in the second half, but I got a gut feeling that they were going to be able to get a stop, and then Manning throws the pick 6, and now the Saints are celebrating like this.
Yeah, I would love to have seen it to be a little closer at the end, but whatever, it happened.
And to those who speak Spanish,
Les agradecemos y les decimos que el año que viene lo haremos otra vez.
Mark Madsen, that squeal at the end rivals the Howard Dean squeal.
I mean, just the whole speech itself. Who does who let the dogs out at a championship?
The intro, if you look at the intro, Chick Hearn introduces him, and he runs out of stuff to say. He's like, a forward from Stanford. He didn't play very much, but he practiced really hard. I guess that's all I have to say. Mark Madsen.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only chance Mark Madsen's going to have for any fame or glory, and that's what he'll always be remembered
Mark
for.
Madsen. Mark freaking Mad Dog Manson. Okay, so now what really matters, back to the Super Bowl.
All right, so what does the loss mean for the Colts?
I don't think it really means that much.
I don't think so either. I'm getting really angry with all this. Does the interception hurt Manning's legacy? What does this mean? He's still going to go down. I think it's the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. He's going to get at least another 2 shots to play for rings and probably win them both. He's that good, and I don't think this is him choking. The guy, it was a good jump route. It wasn't a terrible throw.
Right.
It was good defense.
I mean,
he played a really good game.
And it was one play. If anybody's going to be able to recover it, you have to think it'll be Peyton Manning.
Right. I don't think this will hurt his legacy whatsoever. He's 1-1 in Super Bowls. I think he'll get a couple more. I don't know if he'll ever be able to pass Tom Brady in the rings, which will hurt him in some people's eyes, but just his ability.
Peyton Manning could retire today and still be in the conversation for one of, not the, but one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go so far to say he's almost already passed, Dan Marino or Elway, Jim Kelly. I mean, he's got Montana and Unitas ahead of him, but I think that he's just, it won't hurt his legacy.
Now, what does it mean for the Saints? Because I can't, and call me bitter, call me cold-hearted, but I keep hearing about how this is going to revive the city of New Orleans, and this is so great for the city, and this Super Bowl win for the Saints is so much more to the city of New Orleans than any other Super Bowl has meant to any other city, and blah, blah, blah.
Well, I'd almost say it's kind of true. If you look at it, if you saw the team right after the Hurricane Katrina, where they had
I saw them. They were playing in my backyard.
Right, and they had to play at LSU. They had to play a home game in New York, and their owner was getting death threats. They did abysmal. They fired the coaches, brought in new players. Drew Brees and Sean Payton came in. Was it 3 years later? They're Super Bowl champs. I think it just shows that, I mean, it's kind of like an example of how the city's growing and getting better, that they're doing this. They're out there partying. They're going to have this and Mardi Gras. It's just going to be a huge
because that's what
party
New
for them.
Orleans needs is more drunk people on the streets.
Hey, that's what made them famous before.
And really? Is that what you want your city to be named after? To be known for?
I don't know. I don't think Vegas has a problem being called Sin City.
Well, and that's Vegas. I mean, Vegas doesn't have any professional sports teams. You can't tell me that.
I'm not saying they want to be known for partying and drinking, but I think that this is the kind of thing like they make their money off of Mardi Gras. People coming down there, tourism, just tourism in general,
So
not even just Mardi Gras.
How's the Super Bowl going to help? Oh, yeah, let's go to New Orleans because that's where the Saints won the Super Bowl?
I think people are going to go down there because more people are going to move there now. I think that shows that they're going to show the city's building.
Look, New Orleans is still underwater. It's still going to flood again. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, but people will look past that because they're going to build it back up. I don't know. I think it means a lot for the city. I think it's just great for the franchise. And especially after all the hard times, and they almost got removed. They almost left the city after that happened.
Now, what does it mean for the Saints as a franchise and for Drew Brees and Sean Payton? And the Saints are a very young team. I mean, Drew Brees isn't necessarily young, but he's not old,
and he'll be a Saint for life. And I don't think that his play will really drop off at any point. I mean, if he really re-injures himself, then maybe. But I think he's okay. Sean Payton's a great coach. I don't think they're going to be as good next year. Darren Sharper's an unrestricted free agent. Pierre Thomas, Mike Bell are restricted. They just have a Lance Moyer. They have a lot of free agents coming up, and in an uncapped year, I think a lot of teams are going to poach some of those players.
Yeah, I don't think that the Saints are going to be back. I don't think they're going to repeat.
But I think they'll make the playoffs. They'll win 10, 11 games. I think that the Saints,
they're going to be a
for an
solid
extended
team.
period of time, they're not going to be a dynasty, but they're going to be a consistent playoff team for years to come now, I think.
Which is good because, yes, I wanted the Colts to win, and yes, I thought the Colts were going to win, but I don't have a problem with Sean Payton and Drew Brees because they're good guys, and you always like to see good guys on top.
No, I think it's just a real good story with them doing that. And like you said, I had no problem with if the Colts won, I'd be just happy if the Saints won. it was a win-win for me, so I was happy to see. But in the end, I was happy for what happened.
All right, when we come back, the NBA, the topic of discussion. Also, we'll touch on some college basketball and the Daytona 500 or Valentine's Day. Which one is more important to you? It's what we're talking about.